Good day, my dear students. For today's video, we're going to proceed with our next learning competency, which is about patterns. Okay, so this is still part of the video series that I am creating for the Strengthened Senior High School curriculum under General Mathematics. Okay, so our learning competency for this video is that you, my dear learners, should be able to describe patterns by inspection, including patterns in art and nature, determine the next term of a given pattern, including the Fibonacci sequence, and identify the rule of a given pattern. Okay, so let's start. So first, let us take a look on the photos that we have here in our screen. So we have here the Vertuvian man, we have here the Nautilus shell, the river, the water drop, and the bubbles. So what is their common denominator? Lahat po sila, my dear students, ay may patterns. Okay, so for example, this Vertuvian man, according to Leonardo da Vinci, which is the creator of the Vertuvian man, according to him, so ang definition niya po ng perfect man is kapag yung height niya daw po is same ng measurement or similar ng measurement ng span ng kanyang arms. Okay, so sa Nautilus shell naman po, this is the application of the Fibonacci sequence. The meanders, my dear students, may pattern yung curves niya. And also the waves po and also the bubbles. Kasi po dito po sa bubbles, yung mga circles niya po ay actually the same po. Nagkakaiba-iba lang ng sizes, but they are similar. So may patterns pa rin naman. And as well as, my dear students, this teardrop po. So circle pa din naman siya kung ano po yung shape nung nasa inner, ganun din po yung shape nung nasa outer. Lumalawak lang po yung scope. Okay, so that, my dear students, are the patterns in nature and in art. Okay, so first is the symmetry. So for example, we have here the butterfly. So the butterfly has bilateral symmetry. So symmetry po is defined as the concept in both art and mathematics that means balance, harmony, and proportion. An object has symmetry if one part is a mirror image or exact match of another part. So kung makikita niyo po, my dear students, pag hinati natin itong butterfly sa gitna, ito pong first half niya is exactly the same as the other half. So that is symmetry. For example, ang mukha natin, opo, so they are symmetrical. Opo, so also we have spiral. So spiral po makikita sa flowers. So for example, the sunflower. So these are curves radiating outward from a point seen in Nautilus shell, sunflower, and galaxies, often approximate logarithmic spirals, a pattern repeated across scale. Okay, so yung spiral niya dito, my dear students, dito sa gitna makikita. Actually, maski yung petals niya, my dear students, may spiral din siya. Okay, so we also have these meanders. So meanders po are the curves in rivers and streams caused by natural erosion and deposition, formed as water flows across its floodplain, constantly reshaping the channel. Okay, my dear students, so actually itong pattern na ito, ginagawa siya ng nature for it to conserve the energy, okay? So, bakit nagkakaroon ng curves ang river? Because po, dito sa outer, nandito yung may pinakamalaking friction. And dito po sa inner, nandito na yung less friction. Opo. So, dahil sa mga frictions na ito, nagkakaroon ng pattern na curves. Okay, so dahil dito, nag-i-slow down din yung flow ng water. So, yun din po, my dear students, yung ginamit na concept actually sa bitukang manok. Sa bitukang manok, di ba, ever wonder why the bitukang manok was shaped as like that at hindi straight na lang? So it is in order for the drivers to slow down. Opo. Kasi kung, since di ba sa bitukang manok, nasa ano sila, mountain area. So kapag straight po siya, dire-diretso po yung velocity and acceleration ni driver. Pero kapag naka-curve siya, so namamanage ni driver, opo. So, ibig sabihin po, less prone sa accidents kapag ganito po. So, that curves, my dear students, yung pattern niya, na actually itong part na ito, di ba, almost similar dito at dito rin lang naman. So, that is what we call the meander. Okay, we also have the waves. These are the disturbances that transfer energy through matter or space. So examples po, this includes the water ripples, sound waves, and the seismic waves. So for example po, my dear students, in a seismic wave, which is the earthquake, so di ba po, yung focus natin, yung energy dito is actually yung pinaka circumference niya, my dear students, is similar to the circumference of this one, just the bigger size, opo. Pero kung tutusin, my dear students, they are similar. Nagbabago-bago lang po, my dear students, ng sizes, opo. Pero in terms of similarity, they are similar po. Okay, so also we have the tessellation. Tessellation po is the pattern formed by tiling a plane with geometric shapes without gaps or overlap. Common in art, crystals, and honeycombs. So kung makikita niyo po, my dear students, itong mga bees, they use this tessellation for optimization of space. Opo. Kasi po, for example, kung circle yan, dito po sa mga gilid-gilid may gaps pa. So, pero kung hexagonal yung shape po ng honeycomb nila, lahat po ng mga spaces is na-optimize po ni bee. Mas marami po yung napaglalagyan nila ng honeys. Okay, so actually sa art naman, we have the Escher's tessellation, di ba po? These are the non-polygon tessellation na kung saan makikita nyo na halimbawa kung yung pinaka-design na is horse. So yung buong plane po is composed of all the horse of that similar design. Katulad din po nito, opo. So that is tessellation. So stripes naman po, my dear students, this is also one of the patterns in nature. So these are the repeating parallel bands common in animal coats, for example, the zebras, the tigers, and minerals. So sino po nakadiscover niyan? Si Alan Turing, a British mathematician that proposed that the natural patterns like stripes and spots are formed by reaction diffusion system. And also po, my dear students, Alan Turing po, my dear students, is one of the person, actually he is the one who decoded the Enigma code, which shortened the length of the World War II. Opo, kaya mas konti po, my dear students, yung namatay. At dahil po sa pag-decode niya ng Enigma code, so yun din po, my dear students, yung parang naging basis of our cryptography now. That's why we have passwords. And this cryptography, my dear students, is the basis also of the artificial intelligence that we have now. Okay, so ang galing-galing niya ni Alan Turing. So siya din po, my dear students, yung nakapag-propose na yun po, my dear students, na patterns sa zebras, the tigers, and yung mga spots po na kasama sa family nila are because of the reaction diffusion system. So these are mathematical models where two chemicals, an activator and an inhibitor, spread and react in a way that creates regular pattern. So this explains why tigers, zebras, and leopards have distinct fur markings. Okay, so we also have the fractal. So fractal po, my dear students, these are infinitely complex self-similar patterns created by recursive processes seen in trees, mountains, clouds, and coastline. So kung makikita niyo po, my dear students, for example, we have this snowflake and we call this a Scotch snowflake. Kung makikita niyo po, this is the first arm of the snowflakes. At kapag zinom niyo kung ano po yung design ng first arm, yun din po yung design ng pinakakaliit-liitan na design ng snowflakes na yun. Opo. So also we have the Romanian broccoli. So kung makikita nyo rin po, kung i-zoom nyo po, my dear students, yung pinakakaliit-liitan na part ng broccoli, ang makikita nyo po is yung design din naman ng pinakamalaki niyang part. Okay, so actually itong fractal na ito, makikita din po ito, my dear students, sa mga nerves natin, sa lungs natin, inside our lungs. So kung makikita nyo po, my dear students, itong fractal na ito, they are self-similar. Okay? And also, we have the very famous Fibonacci sequence. So si Fibonacci sequence po, it starts with 1 and 1. Each number is the sum of the two before it. So common in natural growth patterns and arrangement, which is closely linked to the golden ratio. So the golden ratio is symbolized as the phi po, which is approximately equal to 161,803. Okay, so sige po, intindihin po natin kung bakit po kaya closely linked si golden ratio kay Fibonacci sequence. So actually, my dear students, Fibonacci sequence was first discussed noon pang mga unang panahon. Opo. So actually, ginamit siya ni Phidias when he created the Parthenon of Athena. And also po, makikita din po siya doon sa Indian mathematics. However, it was first introduced by Fibonacci, or also known as Leonardo of Pisa, which is an Italian mathematician, kung saan po diniscuss niya doon sa Liber Abaci niya, which is the book of calculations, which he wrote. So actually yung book na yun, hindi lang naman po Fibonacci sequence yung na-discuss niya doon. Also, the use of Hindu-Arabic system, because during those time, my dear students, under the medieval mathematics, nung mga panahon na yun, meron pa pong tinatawag na dispute yung mga Muslims and also the Christian, which they call as the Crusada or the Crusade. So during those medieval times, anything na Muslim is dinedetermine as masama. Opo. So hindi tinatanggap dati noon ang Hindu-Arabic system, only the Roman numerals. However, di ba ang Roman numerals, pag masyado ng marami si numbers, ang rami niya rin namang isulat. So, sabi po ni Fibonacci, masyado pong mahirap gamitin ang Roman numeral system kapag nagsusulat ng malakihang number. So, that's why he proposed the use of the Hindu-Arabic. Sa una, hindi po nila yon inintindi, pero at the later part, na-appreciate na rin ng mga tao yung efficiency ng Hindu-Arabic system. And also, he discussed on that, Liber Abaci, the use or the Fibonacci sequence. However, this Fibonacci sequence was first discussed in Indian mathematics. So, paano po nalaman ni Fibonacci, although nasa Indian nga po or nasa India nga po yung first idea or first tackling of the Fibonacci sequence? It is because Fibonacci po, my dear students, is a son of a custom officer ng Italy. At dahil doon, meron siyang kakayahan na maglakbay-lakbay. Opo. So dahil nakapaglakbay-lakbay siya, so nung napunta po siya sa South Africa, doon niya po, my dear students, natutuhan yung Indian mathematics. Wherein, yun nga po, natutuhan niya rin po, my dear students, itong Fibonacci sequence. So, ito pong Fibonacci sequence, it was called before him because of Eduardo Lucas. Opo, my dear students. So, hindi po talaga Fibonacci sequence yung tawag dito sa sequence na ito. However, because nga po of Eurocentrism, opo, so yun po yung naging reason kung bakit si Fibonacci sequence was called as the Fibonacci sequence. But the whole idea is that the Fibonacci sequence, my dear students, is a set of sequence na nag-originate, my dear students, sa idea ni Fibonacci that there are two pairs of rabbits. So, yung two pairs na yun, magkakaroon uli ng another two pairs. Kaya nagkaroon siya ng idea of this Fibonacci sequence. So, it originated with two pairs. So, 1, 1, which will lead us to 2. So, si 2 naman po, pag inad si 1 doon sa before, so that is 3. So, ang whole pinaka-algorithm nito ni Fibonacci sequence is that the latter plus the former is equal to the next term. Okay, so halimbawa ito, 2 plus 1 that is 3, 3 plus 2 that is 5, 5 plus 3 that is 8, 8 plus 5 that is 13. So 13 plus 8 that is 21. So my dear students, ano nga po ba yung kinalaman ni Fibonacci sequence kay golden ratio, which is 1.61803 approximately. So in this table, makikita natin na kapag si latter po ito, i-divide natin kay former number ng Fibonacci sequence, that will give us or nalalapit po yung result, papalaki ng papalaki yung number ni Fibonacci sequence, papalapit ng papalapit siya sa golden ratio, which is 1.61803 approximately. So, ito po, for example, 1 divided by 1, that is 1. 2 divided by 1, that is 2. 3 divided by 2, that is 1.5. But 5 divided by 3, that is 1.67 approximately. 8 divided by 5, that is 1.6. So, 8 divided by 5, that is 1.6. 13 divided by 8, that is 1.625. And 21 divided by 13, that is 1.615, which is approximately or napapalapit na siya kay 1.18. So kung makikita niyo po, my dear students, ito po si Fibonacci natin, no? Itong dalawang column na ito. This is the latter, this is the former. So pag dinidivide po natin siya, at kapag i-continue po natin ito sa mga pinakamalalaking numbers na sa Fibonacci sequence, ang nilalapit niya po is si 1.618. Ngayon po, my dear students, kapag inilagay natin siya sa golden rectangle and we connect the points po of it, makakagawa tayo ng golden spiral. So, makikita siya again sa nature. So, for example, the seed spiral po. So, this is the sunflower. Makikita natin na there is this golden spiral, which is the application po of the golden ratio. Also po, we have the tree branching. Opo. So, we started with the trunk, which only has one trunk. Then, kapag nag-branch out siya, nagiging 2 na, nag-branch out ulit, naging 3 na hanggang sa naging 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hanggang sa naging 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hanggang sa naging 13. Opo. So, pero my dear students, depende pa rin naman po sa tree, okay? So, actually, pag ako po bumibiyahe, nakikita ko naman po sa mga Nara tree na applicable naman po talaga itong tree branching. However, kung coconut tree, hindi po siya applicable. Opo. So, yun po my dear students. And also sa galaxies natin and hurricane. So, kung makikita niyo po my dear students, they still have this Fibonacci or the golden spiral which is actually connected with the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, so sabi natin my dear students, what if we are asked for the 10th term in the Fibonacci sequence? So, yung usual po nating way in order for us to get the Fibonacci sequence is actually to have first the 1 and 1, diba? So we have 1 here and 1. So pag pinag-add natin, so that will give us 2. 2 plus 1, that is 3. So 3 plus 1, that is 5. 5 plus 3, that is 8. 8 plus 3, that is 13. 13 plus 8, that is 21. So 13 plus 21, that is 34. So 34 plus 21, that is 55. So ilan na to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So ibig sabihin, the 10th term, my dear students, 10th term under the Fibonacci sequence is 55. However, my dear students, paano naman kapag meron tayo or binigyan tayo ng malaking number? Halimbawa, what is the 100th term of the Fibonacci sequence? Paano na natin ngayon siya isosolve? So that's why we have here the Binet's formula. In this formula po, my dear students, this is the golden ratio. Opo. So 1 plus the square root of 5 all over 2 raised to n. Opo, itong part na ito na 1 plus the square root of 5 over 2 po, this is the phi or the golden ratio. Okay, so sige nga po, i-calculator natin. Okay, so we have 1 plus the square root of 5 over 2. That should equal to 1.16 or 1.61803 approximately. So, di ba po? So, actually po, my dear students, ito pong kabila, this is the conjugate only of our phi, okay, or the golden ratio. Ngayon po, my dear students, let's try to get the 10th term po using this formula, okay? So, later po, I'll show to you how to use the formula. Pero, for checking lang naman, let's use the calculator na lang in checking po if this formula will work po in getting the 10th term. Okay, so we have 1 plus the square root of 5 over 2 raised to 10 tayo. Kasi yun po yung term na pinapahanap natin. So minus tayo the quantity of 1 minus the square root of 5 over 2 again. So raise tayo by the 10 all over the square root of 5. So this should lead us to 55, which is correct. So now, what if we are asked for the 41st term in the Fibonacci sequence? So again, the formula is F sub, we have here the 41st term, kaya ang gagamitin natin is the 41st, is equal to the quantity 1 plus the square root of 5 all over 2 raised to the 41 minus the quantity 1 minus the square root of 5 all over 2 raised to 41 all over the square root of 5. So, ang una po nating isosolve is itong part na ito, okay? So, gamitin na natin yung calculator. So, we have the quantity 1 plus the square root of 5 over 2. So, raise na lang natin siya by 41. So, that is 37. Let's write it down. So, we have 37 0, 2, 4, 8, 4, 5, 1. So, how about naman kung minus siya? So, we have the quantity again of 1 minus the square root of 5 over 2 raised to 41. So, that is equal to station. So, sulat ko lang po dito, pansamantala. So, we have 2.7008 for example. Then, raise tayo to negative 10. Raise tayo by 10 raised to negative 9. So, ibig sabihin po, i-move natin siya by 9 places to the left. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, ibig sabihin po, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so ibig sabihin po, ang pagsusulat natin is minus tayo dito. So, if we have here minus, so minus pa rin natin by 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 7008 approximately. Okay, so since ito ay negative, negative din natin, di ba? Negative siya. So, ibig sabihin po, still mag-stay si negative doon all over the square root of 5. So, ngayon, my dear students, ang gagawin po natin is we need to get the exact term. Okay po? So, ibig sabihin po, in order for me to solve this one, kailangan po i-recalculate ko ito. Ito for the sake lang to my dear students of showing you the solution. Opo. Pero upon calculation, dapat dire-diretso po tayo. Kasi po kapag nag-approximate tayo, ito pong mga, di ba po may mga decimal places pang kasama ito po. So, kailangan in-account din natin yun. Opo. Paano kung since we are dealing with the golden ratio which is a non-terminating and non-repeating decimal, kapag nag-approximate tayo, hindi na exact. Fibonacci sequence po are always whole numbers po, okay? So again, we have the 1 plus the square root of 5 over 2. So raise tayo by 41. So equal to, ito na siya. So minus na natin siya by the quantity of 1 minus the square root of 5 over 2 raised to 41. So that is equal 370248,451. So all over the square root of 5. So over natin with the square root of 5. So that is, so meaning to say, my dear students, for the first term of the Fibonacci sequence, that is 1,655,80,141. Okay, so that is equivalent to 165,580,141. And this, my dear students, is the 41st term of the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, so imagine natin kung hindi po natin alam yung Binet's formula, if we are asked what is the 100th term of the Fibonacci sequence, so magmamano-mano tayo. Ang tagal po natin nun, opo, sa pagsagot ng exam. But with the use of the Binet's formula, mas napapadali. Okay? Now, I want you to pause the video and please try to answer this on your own. What if you are asked for the 55th term in the Fibonacci sequence? So, sana po nakapag-try na. So, this time we are asked for the 55th term. So, we have f sub 55 is equal to the quantity of 1 plus the square root of 5 over 2 raised to 55 minus, so 1 minus the square root of 5 all over 2 raised to 55 again, all over the square root of 5. So again, we use the calculator. So we have the quantity of 1 plus the square root of 5 over 2. Let's raise it with a 55. So that is equal to, so we have 3.1211 9005. So we have here times 10 raised to 11. So ibig sabihin 11 times po tayo dito dapat na mag-move. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So ibig sabihin po meron siyang tatlong 0. So that is, my dear students, how we write it in a standard notation. But in scientific notation, we write it this one or in this way. So minus tayo with a quantity of. So dito naman po, so conjugate lang natin, ang naiba lang naman po si minus. So try natin na baguhin na lang si minus. So instead of add, gawin natin minus. So that is negative 3. So ibig sabihin po, if that is how we write it in a standard notation or in scientific notation, in a standard notation, that is 3.239. So 06151. So raise tayo by negative 12. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So ibig sabihin po may 11 0 point again. So we have negative 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 3, 23, 9, 0, 6, 1, 5, 1. Apo, so all over tayo with the square root of 5. Okay, so let us use again the calculator kasi ang goal po natin, lahat po ng points, since sabi nga po natin, the golden ratio is a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. We need to take into the account all of the decimal places, okay? So, that is 1 plus the square root of 5 over 2 raised to 55. So, correct, ito siya. Minus tayo with this one, itong buong ito. So, 1 minus the square root of 5 over 2 raised to 55 again tayo. So, that is equal to, so ganito pa rin naman approximately. So, sulat lang po natin for the solution. So we have 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 9, 0, 0, 5, 1, 2, 3 all over the square root of 5. So divide na lang po natin siya by the square root of 5. So that is equal to 1.3958 opo, raised to 11. So actually ito naka-approximate pa rin naman siya. Pero ibig sabihin po, the 55th term, my dear students, is approximately equal to this one. Opo, hindi na kasi kinaya ni calculator, ni scientific calculator. But, so the 55th term po, according to our calculation, that is equal to 1.395838624 multiplied by 10 raised to 11. So this is positive. So ibig sabihin po, dapat 11 times tayong magmo-move dito. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So magdadagdag tayo ng dalawang 0. 5, 8, 3, 8, 6, 2, 4, 0, 0. Okay, so that is ilan po? So, meaning to say, nasa billion na siya. So, 139,583,862,400. So, actually, ito, approximation din to, my dear students, kasi hindi kinaya ni calculator. Opo. So, ibig sabihin, meron pa dito dapat na exact number. Okay po. So, pero, yan po, my dear students, is the formula according to Binet po. That is the Binet's formula. Hindi lang po kinaya ni calculator natin na i-compute opo, pag masyado nang malalaki si number. Okay, so now my dear students, what if we are given this time with this set of patterns? Okay, so for example, we have 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. So first, let us identify kung ano yung rule dito. So kayo po, my dear students, I want you to pause this video and please try to answer everything first. Okay, in 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, the rule, my dear students, is always add 2. So, sulat natin add 2. So, if we add 2, 3 plus 2, that is 5, plus 2, that is 7, plus 2, that is 9, plus 2, that is 11. So, plus 2, that is 13. So, ibig sabihin, the next term is 13. Add 2 tayo. Ngayon, ito naman po, my dear students, 81, 27, 9, 3. So, what is the rule? So, yung dalawa po, my dear students, ang rule. It's either divide by 3 or multiply by 1/3. Opo, because po 81 divided by 3, that is 27. 27 divided by 3, that is 9. 9 divided by 3, that is 3. So 3 divided by 3, this is 1. Opo. So actually, the same din naman po kay multiply. Opo, kasi po kapag 81 tayo, multiply natin by 1/3, that is equal to 81 over 3, which is 27, which is the next term. Opo. So si 27 naman po, multiply natin by 1/3. So numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator, that is 27 over 3. That is 9, which is the third term. Okay, so kapag i-continue natin yung multiply by 1/3, 1 pa rin naman po yung magiging result niya. Okay, so number 3 tayo. Okay, 7, 14, 28, 56. So ano po my dear students ang next? First, let us identify the rule. Ano po yung rule? We must multiply by 2. Okay, 7 times 2, that is 14. 14 times 2, that is 28. 28 times 2, that is 56. 56 times 2, my dear students, that is ilan po? Is equal to 112. So meaning to say po, our next term is 112. Okay, how about this one? 1/2, 1/4, 1/8. What is the rule? So actually dito, my dear students, ang rule po is it's either divide by 2 or multiply by 1/2. Okay, so pwede din naman po yun. So 1/2 divided by 2, that is 1/4. 1/4 divided by 2, that is 1/8. And 1/8, my dear students, divided by 2, that is 1/16. So paano nangyari? So we have here 1 over 8 divided by po natin by 2. So according to the rules po, di ba, my dear students, when we are dividing, magigi actually siyang multiplication. So 1/8, magiging multiplication siya. Pero pag nagkaroon tayo ng multiplication, anong mangyayari kay 2? Magigi po siya yung reciprocal niya. So ang reciprocal po ni 2 is 1/2. Okay, so numerator by numerator, that is 1. Denominator by denominator, that is 16. So meaning to say po, my dear students, our last term is 16. Okay, so how about this one? 1, 8, 27, 64. So first, identify the rule. So in this case po, our pattern is cube. Opo, i-cube po natin yung former. So si 1, 1 cube, ang answer is 1. So ito naman po, si 2, 2 cube, that means 2 times 2, that is 4 times 2, that is 8. Ganon din po dito, opo. So this is actually equal to 3 cube. So 3 times 3, that is 9 times 3, that is 27. So ito, alam natin na this is 4 cube. So 4 times 4, that is 16 times 4, that is 64. So ibig sabihin, my dear students, itong next term, it should be 5 cube. And 5 cube, my dear students, that is equal to 125. So in these patterns, my dear students, makikita natin na meron tayong it's either ina-add or minumultiply. Okay, so kapag may consistent tayo, my dear students, na ina-add, that is the arithmetic sequence. Pag meron tayong common na ina-add, we call that arithmetic sequence. Ngayon, meron din tayong common na minumultiply, diba? Kapag common naman po ang minumultiply, that is what we call the geometric sequence. Now, my dear students, arithmetic and geometric sequence are the topics that we're going to discuss on the next video. So please stay tuned po, opo. So before we proceed with the next video, let us first have this last 4 problems. So for number 6, my dear students, what is the rule? So di ba po, yung rule natin dito is to multiply by the next natural number. So for example, ito, 2. Ang next niya po, my dear students, is multiplied by 2. Kasi ito, 1 siya, diba? Multiply natin by 2, that is 4. Si 4, multiply natin by 3. That is 12. And 12 po, my dear students, multiply by 4. So ito, multiply by 2. Ito, multiply by 3. Ito po, multiply by 4. Ito po, multiply by 5. This is multiply by 6. And meaning to say, yung next natin, it should be multiplied by 7. Okay? So, we have 100 or 1,440, multiply natin by 7, that is equal to 10,080. So, our next term is 10,080. Okay, how about this one, my dear students? So, dito naman po nag-start siya kay 1, kaya ibig sabihin, we will start by 2 again. Okay, still the same po yung pattern. Okay, so dito po multiply. So kapag sinabi po natin, my dear students, na natural number, these are the counting numbers. Okay po, so mag-start tayo kay 2. So ito po, kung makikita nyo, 1 times 2 tayo, that is 2. 2 times 3, that is 6. 6 times 4, that is 24. 24 times 5, that is 120. 120 times 6, that is 720. So ito din po, multiply natin by 7, si 720. So that is equal to 720, multiply natin by 7, so that is equal to 5,040. So meaning to say, our next term must be 5,040. Nagigets po ba? If there are still questions, please don't hesitate to comment down below. Okay, so ito na po yung exciting part, number 8 and number 9. Ngayon, my dear students, kapag wala na po kayong makitang pattern, so our next choice po, in order for us to get the common or yung pinaka-pattern niya, we need po to continuously subtract po the whole patterns. Okay, so for example, we have here 1, 3, 9, 26, 61, 1, 2, 1. Kung makikita niyo po, di ba, parang wala naman po silang common sa unang glance. So, ang gagawin natin is to first write it 1, 3, 9, 26, 61, and 121. So, dito po, we need to first subtract siya. 3 minus 1, that is 2. So, we have 9 minus 3, that is 6. 26 minus 9. So, we have 61 minus tayo by 26 is equal to 35. So, we write here 35. And also, 121 minus 61. So, that is 60. So, kung makikita nyo, di pa po, wala pa tayong pattern. So, ibig sabihin, continue lang tayo. 6 minus 2, this is 4. 17 minus 6, that is 11. So, we have 35 minus 17 tayo. So, that is 18. 60 tayo minus 35. That is equal to 25. Okay, so wala pa rin namang common. So, i-continue lang po natin yung pag-minus. 11 minus 4, that is 7. 18 minus 11, so that is 7. 25 minus 18, that is 7. So, kung makikita natin, di ba, may pattern na. So, ibig sabihin po, my dear students, ang rule natin dito is actually continuous subtraction. Pero, we call this pattern kasi as the cubic sequence. Okay po. So ang rule natin dito is continuous subtraction. So, ibig sabihin po, kung pababa, we have subtraction. Para po makuha natin yung next term dito, ibig sabihin, i-add naman po natin. So, alam natin na 7, 7 to, yung next term is kailangan 7 din. So, 7 tayo, add tayo by 25 this time. 7 plus 25, that is 32. So, 32 tayo plus 60, that is 92. So, 92 tayo plus 112, so that is 3. So, 11, 213. So, meaning to say, my dear students, yung next term natin is 213. Clear po ba? For the next question, I want you to pause this video and please try to answer this on your own. Okay, so dagdag ko lang po under number 8, continuous subtraction tayo with a common difference of 7. Okay, so paano naman po kapag meron tayong 0? So we have here 0, 2, 5, 11, 22. So we have 40. Okay, so we are after with the next term dapat. So still, wala pong pattern. We need to use the continuous subtraction. So we need to start subtracting 2 by 0. So 2 minus 0, that is 2. 5 minus 2, that is 3. 11 minus 5, that is 6. So 22 minus 11, that is 11. And 40 minus 22, that is 18. So kung makikita niyo po, wala pa naman pong common. So we need to continue the subtraction. So we have 3 minus 2, that is 1. 6 minus 3, that is 3. So 11 minus 6, that is 5. And 18 minus 11, that is 7. So still, wala pa po tayong common. We need to continue the subtraction. So 3 minus 1, that is 2. 5 minus 3, that is 2. 7 minus 5, that is 2. So meron na tayong common. Alam natin, yun na yung susunod po. Alam natin na yung susunod po is also 2. So 2 tayo. Since meron na tayong susunod na 2, ang gagawin natin kung pababa is subtraction, yung pataas naman is addition. So 2 plus 7, that is 9. 9 plus 18, that is equal to 27. So ibig sabihin po, my dear students, dito 27 plus 40 tayo, that will give us 67. So meaning to say po, my dear students, the common difference here is 2. And yung next term po natin, that is 67. Okay? So that's it for today, my dear students. If you still have questions, please don't hesitate to comment down below. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye po!